Good morning. Today is Wednesday, the 23rd of October. This is Healing the Heart of America, and our topic today is shame. What do we have as individuals to be ashamed of, and what's that doing to us, and what America has to be ashamed of as a nation? And I realized for all these introductions for this whole month, and the course is almost over, 2 more days after this, I've never introduced myself, I don't think. So I am Stephen Wynn, which I assume everybody knows. Anyway, so let's just get started. So first I invite everyone to notice where you are this morning. Even before you close your eyes, look around the room and just check how connected are your senses to the world around you. How separate do you feel from what you see, the chair you sit in, you feel, what you hear, what you sense? How separate, how connected are you? How bright, how fresh, how dull? We all know these things shift, so we just want to check out where we are now. And then having some sort of baseline for our basic state this morning or this evening, depending on where we are. Let's just sit up straight with our feet on the floor and put our hands over our hearts. It's our way of connecting to the great center of our energetic being. That would be our hearts. Most spiritual paths in the West today would say we are beings of consciousness, and that's absolutely true. But what they sort of don't catch, that's equally true, is that we are energy beings. There's a great saying by Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, who brought the TM technique to the world. And I'll see if I can get it right. He says, when existence becomes conscious, then intelligence becomes intelligent. And I've always taken that to mean that there are like 2 streams or 2 threads. There's awareness and he's using the word intelligence, but he also says intelligence always has direction and movement. It's energy. What do we do in this process is we enliven our awareness, our experience of ourselves as energetic beings. And the source of that, the center of that, is our heart. So just be with your heart. And just check. Maybe you can sense your heartbeat through your hands, maybe not. But just check in. Maybe even open your eyes if you want to. And again, notice what just connecting to our heart for a minute or two does. Is there some subtle shift in your inner state? Some subtle shift in your senses, perhaps? And your level of peacefulness, your level of love. Are we less capable of loving or more capable of loving? Whatever your experience is perfect. There's no right experience here. And when you're ready, just let your hands down. And let's begin this process of heart rhythm meditation. This great practice of meditating with our heart and our breath. Revived from these amazing desert fathers and mothers by Perron and Susanna Baer of I Am Heart. I always mention them in gratitude for the extraordinary shifts that have happened in my life from doing this practice. My heart has really opened up. And I invite everyone to continue to allow this process of moving into your heart, of living from your heart. So we start by simply watching our breath. Just noticing how free, how easy, how full the breath. Length of the inhale compared to length of the exhale. Which nostril is more open? And could we go to a place of gratitude for this dear part of ourselves, the breath, the lungs, the diaphragm, the respiratory canal. Our dear companion, literally since birth. Could we just thank our breath for being such a faithful servant, such a wonderful friend? And now let's shift into a full abdominal exhale and inhale. Start by exhaling fully by pulling the stomach muscles all the way back toward the spine. And then just continue with a full inhale, full exhale. Can you just notice the sweetness, the joy of full body breathing? And again, just a quick check-in. What's your experience when we fill our bodies with life force, with prana, with chi? What shifts in your experience, in your body, in your senses, in your presence? And now let's begin connecting to our heartbeat, either just directly feeling it in our chest, or perhaps we still need to feel our pulse. It's perfectly okay. Use your fingers to feel your pulse in your wrist or your neck. And it's okay to simply count until that time when your inner senses awaken to your heartbeat. And what we want to do is we want to connect the rhythm of our breath with the rhythm of our heartbeat. So typically that means inhale, 8 heartbeats or 8 counts. Exhale, 8 heartbeats. Could be 6, 10, 4, 12, whatever's right for you. But we want the inhale and the exhale to be even. It creates great balance within our system. Eventually, and this does take a while, we begin to connect to the third pulsing in the body, the cerebral spinal fluid pumping up and down the spine into the brain, bringing nutrients and taking out waste. Really important cycle. My experience is that it's slow, slower and deeper. We connect to the rhythm of the earth, the magnetic pulsing of the earth, to the rhythm of the sun and the moon. It all just happens automatically. There's no trying in this. We start the first connection and the rest just fall into place for us. Let's just do this a minute or two silently. And every morning we sort of shift into some deeper aspect, some adaptation, application of this basic rhythmic breathing. I want to continue with the square breath, the diamond breath. It is such a powerfully healing rhythm. So for this practice, we're going to inhale for 8 heartbeats, hold for 16, and exhale for 8 heartbeats. If it's more comfortable, do 6, 12, and 6, even 4, 8, 4, 10, 20, 10. And always a caution, if you have a heart arrhythmia or heart problems, any kind of issues there, we don't want to strain the heart with holding the breath like that. So just continue doing basic heart rhythm meditation. You'll catch the benefit from everyone else doing it as a group. Believe me, it works that way. So inhale, 8 heartbeats. I suggest only about 75, 80% full. And then hold for 16. And exhale for 8. Inhale for 8. Hold for 16. And just continue with that pattern. Don't mind if you can't hold your breath for a while. Just do what's comfortable. Many people start 8, 8, and 8, and then build up the length of time they hold their breath. It's okay. It's really okay. We just don't strain with the breath. And just finish up your next cycle. And again, notice the effect of this rhythm. How awake, how quiet, how balanced do you feel? So from this place of balance, let's again do just what we did yesterday. It takes a little practice sometimes. There is a chamber, a secret chamber in the heart, an inner chamber. Ramana Maharshi speaks of it as being 3 inches below the heart chakra and off to the right a little bit. The Spoofies speak of it, they call it the inverted space. It's the space within. It's vast. And they tie it in sort of to the solar plexus. This inverted bowl, so to speak, reflecting back. This creates this vast, almost like a cavern. Almost like a cavern. It is so vast. And there's a number of ways to access it. Partly it's just by intention. Partly it's by the breathing. We've just had some very rhythmic breathing. And there's a place where we go where we just sort of connect to the cosmic breath. You know, we've taken our energetic bodies way out to the far reaches of creation, and sometimes have the experience when we breathe in, creation comes within us. When we breathe out, it's like the far edges of creation expand. That's that cosmic breath. And it means we let go of consciously controlling our breath and let the universe breathe us. And in that process, we move into that inverted space, the inner realm. We can also put our attention in the heart and just move the attention down and let it expand out inwardly. One of our classmates came up to me yesterday after the class was over and talked about there's a teaching coming from Sri Yukteswar, Yogananda's guru, that says you can find within your heart a little opening, almost like a little tube, some spot within your heart, and just dive in through that. And you'll discover this vast, inner, inverted space. It's not the space of the material realm, it's the space of the inner realm. And could we just set that intention to explore this inner realm? It may help if the cosmic breath doesn't work for you to use the ether breath, in and out through both the nose and the mouth. That will help to open up that space. Or you may notice that breath happens spontaneously. Is it okay with us if this inner realm of the heart opens up to us? Is it okay if it's easy and natural? You may experience it just as a space within your torso. Could we allow that space to expand outside of our body? It's a vast space. Our bodies exist inside of that vast inner space. Creation exists in this vast inner space. And whatever your level of experience is, whether you experience this vast space clearly or you're sort of wondering what's going on, whatever your experience is, could you give yourself some love and approval? Could you love yourself for simply being on this playing field of this vast internal space? Whether we're inside this field or standing at the door, wondering when it's going to open up, it doesn't matter. What matters is, here we are, receptive, open, willing, surrendered. Could you be at peace with whatever you're experiencing right now? It's perfect. It's perfect. And from here, let's reconnect to our heartbeat. And let's move on to the next part of this meditation, where we explore issues within us and within our nation, where we welcome up this energy and we heal it and transform it. Either we let it go or we transform it into some divine quality within the heart. And today's topic is shame. Shame. So just to get started, let's just ask the most obvious question. What are we ashamed of in our lives? And I know coming from the vastness of our heart, it's actually a nice experience. Coming from the vastness of our heart, it's almost an irrelevant question, isn't it? Like, how could this vastness be ashamed of anything? So, let's pull ourselves back into our bodies, our limited self, and I'll just ask more specific questions to stir and remind us things we might be ashamed of. One of the most common is being ashamed of our bodies. When you look in the mirror, do you just gush with love at what you see? Or do you start criticizing yourself? What do you criticize about yourself? What would you like to change about yourself? Some people are ashamed of their lack of financial success. Not everyone, but just some people. They're embarrassed when they can't do the things that their friends are doing because they don't have the resources, the money. Some of us are embarrassed by our past, by what happened to us as children. Some of us were just shamed by our teachers. Some of us, it went even deeper. There's great shame in being abused, either as a child or there's great shame in being in an abusive relationship. We don't want the world to know. That's another really good question to stir up shame. What is it that you don't want the world to know about you? So with all of these possibilities, I invite you to take one. Doesn't matter if it feels like it's petty. It can be petty. I find the petty issues, there's a lot of energy behind them. Or it could be big. But could you just welcome up this feeling of shame, of not being good enough, of not belonging, this fear of being an outcast, this fear of being separate, different. And just check, where do you feel this in your body? Do you feel sensations, or is it just in the field around you? Whichever the case, feel the sensations, feel the energy in your field, and just ask, is it okay if this movement, if this energy shifts within me? Is it okay if this energy is transformed? Or check to see, perhaps you want to hold on to it. Perhaps there's a level of comfort in the old energies we've had for so many years. If you want to hang on to it, it's okay. It's your energy. But could you be conscious of it? That it's something you love? Or more likely, more commonly, check to see if you don't like this energy. If you have non-loving feelings and experiences and associations with this memory or this energy. Would it be okay with you if you let go of disapproving of whatever it is you're ashamed of? Does disapproving of it make it go away? And I think we all know the answer by now is it does not. Could you let go of disapproving of this energy some more? And more. And more. And because disapproving doesn't make it go away, let's just try something new here. Could you just give this energy, give this memory some love and approval? And if that's too much, could you just be with this energy, be with this memory? Just be with it. That's another way of loving it. And notice what happens when we simply be with this energy or give it love and approval. Most of the time, it starts to fade away. Sometimes it shifts. You discover a deeper energy beneath it. That's okay. Could you be with that energy? Sometimes it goes down into sadness. Sometimes into anger, resentment. They shouldn't have done this to me. Or, just as often, I shouldn't have done this. Check to see if you're blaming yourself or if you're blaming the other people, the other parties. And notice that blame is just another form of disapproval energy. Could you let go of blaming yourself? What happened happened is what you could do in the moment. Could you let go of blaming the other person? They did what they did because they were in such pain, so lonely. They're hurting so much, this was the best they could do. Could you just let go of that blame? Could you let go of the blame and move into compassion for yourself, for the other party? Or maybe you'd rather move into self-love, particularly for yourself. Could you give yourself some love and approval? Could you let go of your blame for the other person? Realize how much pain they must have been in to behave the way they did. And could you give them some love and approval? And more love and approval. So just notice where you are. Would it be okay with you if we look at shame like it's an old friend? It is. It's very old. It's very physiological. When we get embarrassed, we get red, we get flushed, our breathing patterns change. It's a very real phenomenon within us. Could we just look at it like it's an old friend, a pattern that's been there for ages, and it's okay now if that pattern shifts into self-love. more self-love. And now let's look at America. I asked a question in the email I sent out talking about this topic. What does America have to be ashamed of? And I almost didn't want to look at the question. So obviously I have stuff here. Is it okay if we approach this very gently? Very gently. Approach it in a spirit of love. Is there any real value in blaming our ancestors for slavery, the genocide of the Native Americans, for creating an atomic bomb and using it? For all the oppression of the minorities? What we've done to the mentally ill and the mentally handicapped? The underbelly of that is the forced sterilizations, the lobotomies, all these horrific things that have happened, all with people, you have to say misguided, thinking they're doing the right thing. And perhaps in that context, in that time, that's exactly the right thing. Who can say? But could we look at America through the eyes of the heart and see America with compassion for all the mistakes that America has made, the wars it's created, the regimes that it's changed, the clandestine wars, the CIA wars, the things America has done to the climate or to the pollution to its soil, the great devastation to our food supply, embracing and favoring genetically modified foods, poisons in the soil, on the plants. Just discriminate for a second here. Do we want to wallow in shock and horror and self-pity? Or do we want to just look at America and say, this is our country, this is what we've done, and now let's sit down and start shifting this, shifting these patterns to allow America to restore itself to its pristine spiritual glory. Could we let go of disapproving of America? It's not helping us. Could we let go of disapproving of all the problems that America has? It's not solving those problems. Could we let go of our disapproval of any part of America? And because the disapproval hasn't been working, could we give America some love and approval? Many extraordinary and great things about America. Things we're ashamed of, on things we just love and respect, bringing freedom to the world. America did that. Bringing democracy. America led the way in that. A very compassionate nature helping those parts of the world devastated by natural disasters, the foreign aid that we send out to help other nations feed their citizens. Can we appreciate the great love and compassion within America? Honor it, and in honoring it, we strengthen it. Could we just give America some more love and approval? It's a very great nation. A nation with a great heart. A nation that cares deep down. So let's just end this meditation with this love in our hearts for America. Find where we can be grateful for the lives we have in this country, the freedoms we have, the opportunities we have, the very wide open structure that allows all possibilities. If you've lost your connection to your heartbeat, please come back to that. Feel the energy in your feet connecting to the earth. And then just take a minute or two and easily open your eyes. So this ends the formal part of our class. And the next part of the class is optional. People are free to leave. I know it gets long, but we work one-on-one with people who've been stirred up, either through the class or something in their own lives. Happy to work because when you all work, we all go down with you. Now, I got a wonderful email this morning. A classmate in India. She says, in India, it's 7:30 in the morning at night when these classes start, but she's happy to delay dinner. And I think she asked if she could speak because probably an issue of, are we going to have a lag going this far away? But Tara, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, Stephen. Can you hear me now?
Perfectly.
Perfectly. Okay. I'm always afraid to speak because I keep thinking you have to struggle to hear me.
You know, you're very loud. Everybody can hear you. I can hear you online.
I'll speak softly then.
No, it's okay.
Thank you so much for doing this course for all of us, Stephen. You're so kind and so generous.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. It's really a gift to me, believe me.
And a gift to all of us.
So what would you like to work on, Tara?
Two areas that trouble me, Stephen. One is finance. I'm not in a very happy place where finance is concerned. And two is my physical health too.
Yes. Okay. Well, let's just start going with both of those, all right?
Okay.
So, when you think about how much money you have,
Yes.
Are you happy or not happy?
I'm worried, so I'm not happy. I'm afraid that I may not have enough for my expenses.
Yes, good. So here we are. Here's this vast field of money. Money all around the world. And your experience with money is worry and fear, right?
Yes.
Yes. So, do you like those feelings?
No.
No. So, does not liking those feelings make them go away?
No.
It doesn't, does it?
No.
So would it be okay with you if you tried something that might work?
Yes.
Yeah. So let's start by letting go of disapproving of those feelings, the fear and the worry.
Okay.
Would you let go of disapproving of them?
Yes.
Yes. Would you let go some more of disapproving of them?
Yes.
And more?
Yes.
And could you take a look at these feelings and realize that somewhere in your life you created this pattern. Your ego created it for some reason for your own benefit.
Okay.
Okay? In other words, I'll make this up because it may or may not be true, but for most people, we create these patterns as a way of keeping our attention on a topic. I think I'll worry about money and that may help. If I worry, I'll be motivated to go out and do things. Can you see how that works?
Yes.
Yes. And the thing is, we're the ones that created that pattern, that habit.
Yes.
And probably it was the right thing to do at the time, but it's really nothing you need to do now, is it?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, you could let that go, couldn't you?
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be okay. Would it be okay with you if instead of using worry and fear to motivate you in terms of addressing this issue of money, that you just use your common sense and intuition?
Use my common sense and
intuition.
Intuition. Okay.
Would that be okay if you used common sense and intuition instead of worry and fear?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, of course it is. Right. Right. So let's let go some more of our disapproval of worry and fear.
Yes.
Okay? Let go of that some more. Because that's our little baby that we created. Okay? So we want to just love it. Maybe even pull it into our heart. And yes, I hear you. I acknowledge we have this feeling. And it's okay if that shifts into, I'm going to say, confidence. Would it be, or safety? Would it be okay with you if you felt safe about money?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Good. So, could you give money and your particular finances, could you give it some love and approval?
Yes.
Yes. Could you give it some more love and approval?
Yes.
And everyone else, and any money issues or whatever an issue is in your life, go right along with this. Could you give your financial situation more love and approval?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. In fact, Tara, I know nothing of your finances, but I would imagine being in India, on one level you are fantastically more fortunate than many.
Yes.
Yes. So could you give money some love and approval?
Yes.
So let me ask you a question. If you have a friend and you're always disapproving of them,
Yeah.
how likely are they to show up and come visit you?
They won't turn up, yes.
Right, they won't show up. But if you have a friend where you're always just sending them love and approval, how likely are they to want to come by and visit?
Oh, they're going to drop by.
Yeah, they're going to drop by.
Yeah.
So would it be okay for you to shift your perspective on money to that of a very dear friend
Okay.
that you give a lot of love and approval to?
Okay. Wow. Why did I think of this?
Yes. It's because your other good friends are fear and worry. And we all do it. It's not personal. we think fear and worry are our friends. So just welcome up right now the idea of money, the sense of money, and just give it some love and approval.
Okay.
And more love and approval.
Yeah.
Yes. And would it be okay with you, Tara, if every time fear and worry come up about your finances, about having enough money, that you look at fear and worry as this great suppressed energy within you, you pull it into your heart, and you transform it into love of money.
Okay.
Is that okay with you? Yes. And suppose you have to do that 1,000 times.
I'll do it.
You'll do it, right? Because how many times have you worried about money in your life?
4 million times.
Million
So
times, right. So the good news is it's probably not going to take you 1,000 times to create a new habit here.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe 100. I don't know. It's different for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But would that be okay if you just start that process?
Yes. Yes.
And have a new relationship with money?
Yes.
Yeah. And just to sort of use discrimination. There's people out there who make a lot of money. There's people out there who work really hard and don't make so much money.
Yeah.
It's not about hard work. You could say karma, but karma is energy.
Yeah.
This is a way of shifting karma. Okay?
Yeah.
Because that's what we're doing here. And we're playing with our inner, deep suppressed energies. These are the seeds of karma that we are roasting with love, the fire of love.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah. Wow.
Okay, so that's the practice. You just keep going with that. And, check in, write me in a month or two and let me know how it goes, okay?
Okay, great. Now, can I replace finances with health? Can I do the same thing for health as well?
Yes, let's do exactly that right there, right now.
Yes.
So how do you feel about your body? Do you love your body?
I again have worry. I have fear and worry whether I'll be able to regain my lost mobility, whether I'll be able to do things that I used to do before. So
Right. So right now you don't have mobility.
I have a limited mobility. I use a wheelchair.
Right. I understand. I have a memory of some long-term disease that you're working with. And it's the same thing there, but let's just do it anyway. Do you like this disease?
No.
No, you don't. So, we have a saying in America, what you resist persists.
Correct.
Okay? And what I want you to do is pull up a sense of this disease.
Yeah.
Okay? And can you sense your resistance and your not liking of this disease?
Yes, yes.
Yes. So you may be able to notice that actually what you're doing when you're pushing it away is it's sort of hooking in, and you're hooking into it.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Would it be okay with you if you let go of your not liking this disease,
Yeah.
okay, it's like this disease is your enemy, and you're hating your enemy, right?
Yes, I mean.
Yeah, I believe me, it's very natural. It's very natural.
I'm not hating it, but worried about whether it will damage me more.
Yes. Or you're afraid of it then.
Yes, I'm afraid of it. That's the word. I don't hate it. I'm
Okay,
afraid of it.
Good, that's fine. Fear is just as connecting, believe me. You know, we have a saying, fear it, appear it. Okay?
Say it again. No, I didn't hear that, Stephen. I didn't hear fear.
Fear it, appear it.
Appear it, okay.
Okay, whatever we fear appears in our life.
Yes, so good.
Right? And this is, again, this suppressed energy that I'll call karma, you know, the sanskaras within us that we're dealing with here. Okay? So right now, with these suppressed energies, we have fear, and that's very natural. You know, we think by fearing something, we're protecting ourselves, but that hasn't worked for you, has it?
No, it hasn't.
That's not. So would it be okay with you if you let go of this? You know, it's really hard to work directly with the fear sometimes, but you don't like the fear, I'm assuming.
Yes,
You'd rather not be
I'd rather
fearful.
not have it. I'd rather not have it, yes.
You'd rather not have it. So good. So could you let go of your resistance to this fear?
Okay, yeah.
Okay? Could you let go of it some more?
Yeah.
And more?
Yeah.
Yes. Now, as you let go of the resistance to the fear, what's your experience with the fear?
It becomes less strong.
That's right. It becomes weaker. It becomes softer.
It gets weaker.
Yes. So is it okay if you let go some more of your resistance to this fear?
Yes.
Yes. And more.
Yes.
And more.
Yes.
Yes. And would it be okay with you if you just look at this pattern of resistance? You know, it's one thing we do, again, to protect ourselves. We think if we resist, we're protecting ourselves. But we're really holding it closer to us. Okay? We're really keeping it there. Would it be okay if you let go of all your resistance and completely surrendered to it?
Surrender to?
Surrender to your resistance. Just surrender to it.
Okay.
That feels scary, doesn't it?
No, it's less scary than the illness itself.
Yeah. Okay, good. Good. So where you want to go, would it be okay with you if all of this resistance just sort of dissolved and faded away?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. And you notice the fear gets lesser and lesser, right?
Yes, it gets weaker and weaker.
Yes. Good. So could you let it go some more?
Yes.
Because now you can look at the fear. It's not so scary. Could you let the fear go also?
I didn't hear the last part.
Could you let the fear go also?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, you can now.
The resistance and the fear, yes.
Yes. Could you let the fear go some more?
Yes.
And more.
Yes.
And more.
Yes.
Good. And how do you feel right now?
I feel good.
Good. But let's go a little further here.
Okay.
So this disease, does it feel like it's more powerful than you are?
Yes.
It does, doesn't it?
Yes.
You know, it's coming at you and you can't stop it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the feeling.
I'm afraid I can't stop it, you know?
Yeah, that's the feeling, is it's bigger than you.
Yes.
So would it be okay with you if you let yourself expand?
Yeah.
Let your heart expand, let your awareness expand.
Yeah.
Let yourself get bigger and bigger. Could you expand into the fullness of your beingness, the fullness of the universal heart? And when you move into this place of great expansion, could you take a look at this disease? And are you bigger than the disease now?
Yes, so this has now become a dot.
Right. It's become a little dot. And could you just gently brush or blow away that little dot?
Yes.
Let it go. Let it go. Okay? Let it go. And it's not that we're resisting. Really what you want to do, from this vast, expanded place, rest in the knowingness that this disease is something that you invited in, probably at birth or whatever, and now you don't need it anymore.
Yes.
Okay? That it came here to teach you certain lessons in your life,
Correct.
and now you don't need it anymore.
Yes.
And you can lovingly let this energy move to another place in creation. Is that okay with you?
Yes. Wow.
Yes. So that's sort of like two practices for you.
Yes.
Okay, and again, or just either way, wherever you feel fear and worry, again, you want to just create a new habit, letting those go and moving into loving.
Yes.
Okay, but the other one's very big too. You expand yourself, and that diminishes the fear, it diminishes the energy, and allows a whole new energetic pattern
Wow.
to waken up inside of you and your body. Is that okay?
Yes, wonderful. You're so full of good ideas, Stephen. Wow.
Well, and I'm sure you will, because I know you've been here every day. I see on my computer.
Yes.
I see the Indian flag.
Yeah, on the dot of the 9 a.m. for you, I'm always here.
Yeah. So it's not so much the ideas; it's your working with the energy that will make the shift. You get that?
Yes.
Good.
You're giving me the idea to move to change to shift the energy.
Yes. Oh, yes. I know. I'm brilliant, aren't I?
You are.
Oh, believe me, I have experienced it with so many people. They've all taught me. That's how it goes. So, thank you very much for working with us, Carter.
Thank you so much, Stephen. And I want to wish everybody a very happy Diwali. On the 27th of October is Diwali, the Festival of Lights, the day Ram came back from the forest.
The Great Victory Day.
Yes.
So this is October 27th. What day is that? Monday or
yes,
Saturday?
It's Sunday.
Sunday.
It's Sunday, and it's the biggest. It's the Christmas of India. It's the biggest festival in India.
Yes, it's very festive. I've been over there for that. It is very festive. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, and happy Diwali
Thank you.
from all of us.
Thank you.
Yeah, lots of prosperity for you.
For everybody. Thank you very much, Stephen, and the group.
All right. Thank you. So it's almost 10:15. Unless someone is desperately in need of help, if you are, certainly speak up. Otherwise, John, come on up. Well, yeah. John's a big, strong guy. John could just sit there and levitate. All right. What's going on, John?
Well, it's more of an idea, maybe, that when you asked about loving America, if we could give America some love, my thought was, how do you love something that doesn't exist?
Does everyone hear that? I'm going to say, repeat it if you don't mind, because you speak softly. So John is, when we were doing the Loving America, what comes to John is, and John is a very esoteric, expanded being, the thought that comes to John is, how can you love something that doesn't exist? So, John, could you ask your mind if it knows how to love something that doesn't exist?
Yeah, it doesn't.
It doesn't know, does it?
No.
It doesn't. And it seems like you ask your mind this question and you don't get an answer, and that's been bothering you enough to at least bring you up here, right?
Well, I was wondering if we take the concept, which is an artificial construction of America, and we did the same thing with it as we would to the lack of wealth or to a disease.
Mm-hmm.
Because...
Well, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
What was your experience when we said, could we give approval, love and approval to America?
The experience was, that's silly.
Okay, good. So what I want you to do is let go of being in your head, okay? Because that's a judgment there.
Okay.
Or it's a discrimination.
I think it's a discrimination.
Fine, we'll call it discrimination. I don't mind either way.
Yeah.
And would it be okay with you if you went into your heart, and I'll give you another discrimination, that it's not the object of love that matters, it's the process of love within you that gives you the benefit.
Yes.
Okay? So you've experienced giving love to individuals, yes?
Actually, what's coming to me now is that love is not something that is individualized.
Okay.
It's something that holds everything.
So have in the course of the month here, things have come up, and I've invited people to let go of disapproving them and give them some love approval. Has that ever worked for you?
Well, love is like a light, so going into that light.
Good. Let's go with light then for you. All right?
Yeah.
So would it be okay with you if you gave light to another person? If you sent them light?
Well, if we shared it.
If you shared it?
Yeah.
Gosh, that's okay. Is it okay with you if you share that light with America?
Yeah, that creates a stop.
Okay. So what's the stop? What stops there?
That America is an artificial concept.
The concept.
It's like a fantasy. How do you give, it's a dream.
I got you.
Okay.
So when you give love, when you share light with a person, what's your inner experience?
It's one of light.
It's one of light. Good. So, and that person, is that person also a construct?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Okay.
Well, it is. To think of somebody as an individual, then we have to construct that image.
I understand. And America has physical boundaries and there's land and all that sort of thing, and it's a construct. Would it be okay with you if your experience was of just sharing light everywhere?
Sure.
That's all you have to do.
Right.
Okay. That's all you have to do. Your construct doesn't matter because it's all your own internal experience. And if you shared light everywhere with everything all the time, who would you be?
That light.
You'd be that light. Is it okay with you if you become that light?
Sure.
Of course. Is it okay with you if it's easy for you to move and be in that light 24/7?
Sure.
It's okay, isn't it? And is it okay with you if every time you experience that you're not sharing light, if something else is coming up for you, that you go, oh, look at that. This is my experience, my flag, my signal that says it's time to share light. Okay?
Sure.
So that's the practice.
Right.
Okay?
Okay.
All right? Thank you. Thank you very much. That's what you love about Fairfield, isn't it? We get so esoteric. All right, everybody. I'm going to turn off the mute and thank you all for being here. Just 2 more days, so
After that, what happens after that? we all go back into our shriveled, hard hearts. All right, everybody. I don't know what happens. We'll figure that out. Thank you so much for being on the phone.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Blessings.
Blessings to you all.